Hello, ladies and gentlemen of planet Earth, and also non-gender specific life forms tuning in from outer space. Antony Sammeroff, international therapist and life coach. I want to talk to you today about praise, and have you praised the people that you love recently? It is not very well known fact, well, it might seem obvious, but it's not that well known, that even people with a very high self-esteem tend to need a ratio of 4 or 5 positive comments to each one negative comment in a relationship. And a lot of us tender souls, actually need a lot more of that. Now, I don't know what it was like in your house growing up, but I know in a lot of houses, even 4 or 5 negative comments to each positive comment would maybe be a turn up for the books. A lot of people simply neglect to give warm words of affirmation to the people that they care about, and they are always pointing out the flaws or the things that the other person could do better to chase their own desires, which there's nothing wrong with chasing, but to try and you think that if the other person always is psychic and knows exactly what you want, then your relationship will be excellent. Now, I want to talk about different types of praise and some pitfalls of praising people. Some people get very uncomfortable when you give them compliments, and there is a really good way below the defenses of someone who is reluctant to take a compliment. We all know that compliments are free and you can give them out generously. But what people tend not to like is if you use an adjective as a compliment. So if you saw someone perform in a play and you said, "Oh, you're so talented," that's exactly the kind of thing that their bouncers tend to get up. Plus, it doesn't really acknowledge the work they put into it. So a much better way would say, "Oh, I really enjoyed the tone of voice you did in the to be or not to be speech. I've never heard it done before, and it was very dramatic." If you can give descriptive praise of what you saw and what you liked about it, that is going to touch a person much more deeply. I remember once I saw a beatboxer perform and I was blown away with his performance. Now, I'm a musician, so when I went up and talked to him, I was like, "Oh, I can tell you've worked really hard." And his jaw almost hit the floor. He was so surprised that instead of saying, "Oh, you're so talented," someone came up and actually identified the work that he put into it. So that's another really great way you can tell a compliment in a way that really, really touches people and acknowledge the work that went behind what they did. So you don't want to always use words like "you're so intelligent" or "you're so beautiful," because those put you in the position of judging the other person. And if someone is beautiful today, they might be ugly in 10 or 20 years from now. And if you think they're intelligent today, well, someone might think that they're stupid tomorrow. Now, you're asking them to identify their identity based on an adjective which could change. So, for example, so instead of saying, "Oh, you're beautifully dressed," you can say, "I think that dress really suits you." And people will not think, "Oh, no, I'm not." Or if you say to someone, "Oh, you have a brilliant mind," they won't think, "Yeah, but it's also a burden because I always have to think all the time." And a great thing to do is to acknowledge everything that anyone does for you. Anytime someone helps you, if you come home to a tidy kitchen, say, "Oh, the kitchen looks very lovely." If you, whatever, if someone gives you a lift somewhere or helps you pick up the boxes, send them a thank you card. Say, but don't just say thank you. Say, "You really saved me a lot of time and a lot of effort by bringing the van over to help me move my stuff." Because if you be more descriptive and say what it is about that experience that helped you and how it benefited you in an existential way, how did it make your life easier? And also, when you compliment people on these things, you should not be complimenting them like a star on the board, like positive reinforcement to get them to do it again. They might do it more often if you praise them for it, but you should praise them from the bottom of your heart and thank them for enriching your life, because people will get a sense of if you're trying to manipulate them into changing their behavior or doing things for you by thanking them, and they won't like it. There is an alarm that goes off when you're trying to manipulate people into changing their behavior using praise, just the same as punishment. So here's the top tips. Be descriptive about your praise. Don't use adjectives. Say what you like about what that person has done. Acknowledge each and everything that everyone does from you, not like a star on the board, but from the heart. Praise effort rather than the results of the effort. Acknowledge the effort that people put into things. Compliment them on things that took them a long time, that they put a lot of work into, like their business, or character traits which they might not always have had that they've cultivated. And you don't need to say to someone, you should put these paintings up in a gallery just because they look nice, those are great paintings. But look at the paintings and say something descriptive about what you like about it. Okie dokes, I think that's enough for today. If you would like to make the world a positive place, please pump that share button. I want to do a lot of these live feeds, but if people don't share, then I don't really have the encouragement to know that I'm doing a good job. You can also leave some praise and tell me what you liked about the video, but the best way to praise the video is to share it. If you would like my help personally in various areas of your life, including improving your relationships, send me an email at antony@beyourselfandloveit.com. And if you want to support my work, the best way to do it is save up those pennies and support yourself by buying the personal development program I put together over 8 months called Surviving to Thriving. It's got 6 lessons that will help you transform your life, and you can find it at beyourselfandloveit.com under the course tab. Share the video.